Going on YouTube? Drama D here. Thought I'd give you guys a little update on what's going on. The 40 gallon is doing alright. No algae, still battling that random dozen aptasia. Kill them off. 2 to 3 weeks later, I get about 6 to 12 more. Kill those off. So currently looking for a tinier copper band butterfly, maybe. See if they'll eat them. I don't want nothing too big though. Something smaller. Someone call the copper band police on me. But I just want to give you an update on the new build. So, got the radions installed. I've been seeing a couple videos complaining about a clicking noise. I haven't noticed a clicking noise on my lights. Some people were saying that these screws underneath were actually loose, and then some people were complaining about the housings being cracked. I inspected mine. I don't see any cracks in mine. I'm gonna probably get a brighter light, flashlight, and look at them a little more closely. But they are installed. I have a little plastic cover on there just to keep the dust from settling on them until this tank is wet. Who knows when that's going to be. So I kind of like to acquire everything before I get it all wet. Got the overflow box installed. The nozzles installed. I might extend those out, but just from past experience, I kind of like to keep them short. I got the Nero 5s in the back. Disregard that skimmer, that's not being used on this system. That's from the old lagoon. Trying to sell it right now for $100. Some 2-part epoxy, that's gonna be for the rockscape. I bought the sealant, didn't end up using it. Might use it for something else down the line. But onto the build. What's going on with it? So got the apex installed or moved. I was gonna mount the apex onto some starboard and do like a what do you call that, a apex control wall, but really there's no room to put it. I was thinking about putting it behind the stand here, but you know, I really worry about it getting wet. Last on my 150 gallon build, I built an acrylic cover that went over it to keep splashes from getting on it. And when I broke that 150 gallon down, I set it down and it fell off the table and it cracked. So I destroyed it, threw it away. So I was gonna do some starboard and try to like do a control board, do all the cutouts and all that on some starboard, mount all the equipment to it. Thought it was pretty cool. I was gonna get it in either red or white, just to kind of match the red, white, and black and gray theme. And I ended up deciding that I really don't have room behind the tank. So then I was gonna do something on the side of the tank. So I pulled out my old control box and was just gonna try to make that work. It was basically a black box. I actually put it away in storage, so I don't have it here to show you. So then I started looking. I started trying to mount some stuff up to it, and it's really not enough room in there. I would have had to make several modifications, drilling holes, putting the little grommets in there for the cords, and then wasn't really sure if it was going to work out. So then I started thinking about, I'll just build one out of plywood, you know, get some like cabinet grade plywood or something and build one. And then I started looking at the cost of that. And then I figured maybe I better look around to see if I can find something, you know, like on OfferUp or somewhere like that. Craigslist, furniture store, you know, a little mom and pop furniture shop. So I started looking at something that was no wider than 15 inches, So I thought, you know, maybe a CD tower, wooden CD tower would be great. I actually found about a dozen different options as far as CD towers, cabinets, stereo cabinets. They had the glass, you know, display in the front, which is nice. But I'd say 80% of them were either too wide or just weren't going to work. So I kept browsing around, and then I came across, bear with me, apologize. I came across this right here. So this is basically like a locker. Found it used. It's like new condition, and it was $20. So I figured I could maybe utilize this as some type of power control center. The big, I guess, selling point for me to buy this was that it was red and it matched the red and white and black theme. As you guys can see here, I mounted the controllers for the pumps on the front, and the reason for this was it kind of offsets the red, plus allows me to hit the feed mode buttons and stuff. I figure I'd use the cabinet itself to just put the power bricks on the top here, and then just try to hide the cords. If inside here becomes a cord mess, I'm not too concerned because I can close it. One thing is the latch on this door was broken or missing, so it's actually there, but there's no latch or key for it, so I need to take that off. I'm sure I can get a replacement one. So I got this little piece of black tape here to hold the door shut. And one other thing I could have probably did was mount these two on the right, just a hair over this way. I can open, the door opens to there before hitting the little probe things, but no, I could still do that. It's just velcroed on there, and these are removable. So today I plan on using my stepper bit. This is the old one. I went to go buy a new one. They were like $50. So I was like, I'll just use my old one. But my original plan was to drill one hole here and then one hole here, and then have the cords come down in it, and then put these little grommets in the holes that I drilled with the stepper bit to protect the cord. Well, it turns out that these are the biggest grommets I can find, the rubber ones, locally to me. So I'm gonna just do 4 individual holes. So I'll do one here, one here, one here, one here, because I do have a power cord for the power brick that comes down into these grommets as well. So I don't think 2 are gonna fit in these grommets, plus the power cords. Mainly this big old plastic lock nut thing was a pain in the ass to get those grommets around. I had to heat them up in hot water and stretch them around it. So plan today is to drill those holes, get the power cords ran for those. You're seeing 4 of them. You're probably wondering, why the hell do I have 4 of them? So 2 of them are for the returns, one for the left return, one for the right return. Those are Varios 2 pumps. One is for the skimmer. It's a 150 Elite skimmer. It runs the Varios 2 pump as well, so I have 3 Varios 2 pumps. And then I added a Varios 4 pump, which is going to be running a manifold, which will power the 1/4 horsepower chiller, the UV sterilizer, and then possibly a couple reactors. So and if you've seen right up here, I ordered a Versa pump. So these have been out of stock. You can get the 4 packs for $500. I almost just went and got the 4 pack, but I didn't have $500 to just drop on it, especially with what's going on right now. I did find a place that had one in stock. Ordered it. It was like 2 left. I ordered it and figured I'd try it out, but I've been seeing reviews of the pumps leaking or the fittings leaking on this pump. So I did order an additional what is this called, push to connect tube connector, and unfortunately, which is the same one that's on here, I believe. And then I got these little 90 push connects, elbows, but there's these little push connector things that push into these. I ordered those as well, and they never showed up with my package. They were in stock when I ordered them, but evidently they're on back order, so I'm either waiting for them or getting credited for them and need to find some push connect fittings. I'm kind of curious if the Kimura ones would push in here, because they look like it's just a random 1/4 inch push connect. Just trying to go for the clean install. I used these on the old Kimura pump, all the push connect fittings and all that, and it made the install super easy. I didn't have to deal with that soft tubing. I could just, use this hard RO tubing line. I ordered this because it was white, and I figured I could run my ATO over to the tank to fill it up. It's 25 feet, should be just enough to run from my ATO to the tank for fill up. So got this, probably going to install this on the inside of the stand, just on the side of the cabinet there, the red cabinet. And this is going to power the calcium reactor. Anybody that's watching this video, if you guys know where I can get a new pH controller nut thing, or not a pH controller, but the pH probe goes in the top of the reactor. Well, I guess when we took the pH probe, it got stuck on the probe, the little nut that holds the probe in there. So I've been looking everywhere trying to find one of these, and I can't find one. And unfortunately, this connector is molded into the top of the lid. We all know that Vertex is going out of business, and I tried looking at their site for a replacement part, and I can't find it anywhere. So I've actually found a pH inline probe. It's the same thing. It holds a pH probe, but it's like a whole replacement assembly. So I'm curious if I could just take the nut off that and use that for the top of this. I think BRS sells them. They're inline probe holders, something like that, but they're $20. But it's the whole assembly. This part right here is molded into the lid, so I can't just take that out and replace it. So if anyone knows what I can use to replace the little nut that holds the probe in there, please let me know. But yeah, as far as Apex, that is the old Apex mounting board that was behind the enclosure thing that I had on the lagoon tank. There was a square box that went around this, and I had the auto top off and the various pumps connected to the front of it. It went through that box, and then behind that box was this. That's the ATO, loud as fuck. Went through that box, behind it, and then it plugged into this. So here it is. The only concern I have really about this cabinet at this point right now is last night, for the first time, my Apex disconnected from Fusion. So I woke up this morning and it said at 1:09 a.m. in the morning last night, my Apex was disconnected from Fusion. So troubleshooting it, it was like reset your router. It could possibly be a Wi-Fi signal. lost, bad connection, blah blah blah. So being that this cabinet is metal, I'm kind of worried that maybe with the door shut that there's going to be a signal loss, that it's blocking the Wi-Fi signal to the Apex. Some things I can do to remedy that is just hardwire my Ethernet cable from my modem to the Apex itself, which honestly I think I might just do just for peace of mind. I do have about 50 feet of Ethernet cable I can run. It would just be kind of an eyesore running the wire across my house on the ceiling or something down here to the Apex box. And then if that isn't going to be an option with the wife, then maybe I could run like a Wi-Fi signal booster right here on the cabinet door itself. Let me know what you guys think. I think this, I think it's aluminum is blocking the signal for the Apex. So, but there's a controllers. I got two 832s. I actually used to have 3, and I had them on various tanks. And I have this like 60-foot or so Aquabus cable. I actually found these on Monoprice.com. You can get about 20 to 40 feet for $2 to $3, and you want to look for the USB 2.0 non-repeating Aquabus cable. It's actually a USB cable, but Neptune calls them the Aquabus. But it's a non-repeating, and this one here I just had like a male to female, and then I used the ones from Neptune, the male to male, to connect to the male to female. But I got about 60 feet here. They sell like a 6-footer for like $14. I think the longest I've seen them sell is like 15 foot, maybe 30 foot. I found these in lengths from, I don't know, 2 foot as long as, I want to say 30 foot. So I think this is about 60 feet. I think I paid probably a total of like $9 for it all with shipping. So Monoprice.com, not sponsored by them or anything, just saying, you guys want to save some bucks, look for non-repeating USB cables. I think it's a USB 2.0. Basically it doesn't have that little round repeater thing next to the ends. Now I know, don't do what I say or do what I do, just I'm just trying to share with you. I think that if you use a non-Apex Neptune cable and something happens to your system, it's not going to be covered under them. So just giving you fair warning. I did take all that off and I switched back to the typical 6-foot Neptune Apex Aquabus cable, because I no longer need to spread out the 832s, and I did sell the 3032 to a buddy of mine who needed one. So plans for that is I got some 1-foot extension cords. We all know various equipment comes with various little power cords, plugging stuff in. You got big blocky cords like this. You tend to plug them in and they block the outlet right next to it. And then you got the typical ones that work nice, don't block anything. And in my case I have these Nero 5 ones. They tend to block stuff. I think I got the ATO one. It's kind of weird, blocky. So plans are, got a couple 10 packs here. Whatever I don't use on here, I got 16 ports. I plan on using on the Reptile and kit closure, as well as the DJ power strips. So I think I got both of these. I think they were $17 a piece for a 10 pack. So got 2 of them. Just make sure I had enough. I'm going to be using that to plug in all the equipment, try to tidy up the wires, make it look nice. I got the Inkbird installed in there. When I had it plugged in, it kind of looked like a freaking like a bomb or something. I don't know. It's not. It's a controller board for an aquarium. You hear me, government? But there's your update. Plans are to get the grommets, the holes drilled, the grommets for the octo pumps. In the long run, another option would be for me to completely take the door off and maybe get a piece of plexiglass cut and put it on as a door here, and then just mount the octos inside the cabinet via freaking Velcro. And just, you know, it is what it is. I just thought the cabinet would be cool for the red, white, and blackish gray theme. And you know, I'm gonna have probably on this side the ATO, the Versa pump, and then I still need to find out where I want to put the Nero controllers. Maybe I'll put them up here. Still undecided. Kind of not planned. Raw. So let me know what you guys think. Still, my plan today is to try to get all the electrical kind of ran, the modules all hooked up, everything plugged in and turned off. And then right here is all the rock that I power washed and cleaned up. This table that it's sitting on is actually the perfect dimensions for the inside of the tank over there. So I'm gonna try to build a scape up on here, bust out that 2-part epoxy, got some super glue and epoxy it all together, try to come up with some type of scape. See what we got going on. And right now it was kind of raining. It was in a cardboard box and the rock kind of got damp, so I took it out of that box. But now the rock has kind of a musky odor a little bit from being a little bit damp. So the old lady's not going to be too happy, especially being home out of work right now, about the odor. But I told her, you know what, once I start building the scape, you're going to have to deal with it, because I got to build the scape. So plans are finish up installing all the equipment. Still trying to source out quite a few things. A few plumbing parts. I need to get a CO2 bottle, regulator, pH probe, Trident if I can find one. What else? UV sterilizer. Let's see here. Some media for the calcium reactor. Source me out a couple rectangle socks, just if I ever want to use the socks. And then maybe a different ATO container. This is the Tunzi 7-gallon jug. Kind of want to swap out the jug for maybe like a square box, 5 to 10 gallons, in white or red maybe. So I know there's a local guy selling a red one, but he's kind of about almost 2 hours away from me, so maybe I'll go take a drive and go visit and pick him up. But it's about all that's going on. I know it's been about a week or so since I did an update. I know this video is fairly long. Just kind of want to walk you guys through, let you know the plans. Still got quite a bit of work to do, equipment to source out. I'm kind of anal when it comes to having all the equipment I want installed and on the tank before I get it wet. I could get it wet right now and just start filling it up, throw the rock in there, and just deal with the scape later. Me, I'm going to take the time, get everything kind of how I like it. If I don't like these controllers on there, maybe I'll move them. If the signal's getting blocked for the apex, maybe I'll take the door off. Still to be determined. But I don't know. Like I said, the cabinet was kind of popped up, and I thought it would match the theme pretty good. It's the same height as the stand, so I mean, I thought about cutting the legs off, but decided to leave them on just in case there is ever uh, a leak or anything. It'll be up off the ground. The electrical won't be getting burnt. I do like the fact that the electrical is in its own cabinet. Now that it being a metal cabinet, I don't know if that's going to be an issue. I'm rambling now. I apologize for the length of the video. Finished doing the electrical install, temperature controllers. I got another one over there. We can take care of all this stuff. Still need to source out some parts for the calcium reactor, build a rockscape, install the Versa. Yeah, that's it. Disregard all the stuff in the tank. It's kind of like a holding center. And the CV40 is doing alright. I did get a new leather that tipped over. One thing that is going to be happening in this tank is I will be getting rid of the fighting conchs. Tired of dealing with them knocking everything over. Gonna go ahead and pay it forward to my friend. Just give him both of them. He has a couple larger tanks, and sure he'd love to have them. But and then try to get some of these frags up off the sand and mounted on the right side rock, right about there, behind the hammers. Just some various Zoas. There's 2 or 3 types of Zoas on there now. I think I got some infusions, jokers. Looks like some type of hornet. So I'm gonna probably put the utter chaoses up there, as well as these wild ones, and maybe the nightmares. But the right side, it's kind of GSP leather and freaking clove polyps. So it's kind of getting taken over. I do have another leather that is right there behind the Gorgonian, which I will be taking to a friend. He had some Gorgonians in his tank, and I forget what happened. He was dosing for like a hookworm parasite or something, and his Gorgonian started to shed and die off. So a lot of these I got from, actually all of them I got from him. So I told him I would take some clippings of each one so that he can regrow his colony of them, and probably move some stuff around, move some Gorgonians around, try to make more. Going for like a leather GSP clove Gorgonian feel on this side, and then kind of like a Zoa mushroom thing on this side. So nothing special. As the Zoas overgrow everything, I will be fracking them out and selling them off in the local forums. Calypso, I know you're probably wondering what happened to all the other frags. I did sell them locally all in one shot, but I did keep doubles of everything that you were interested in, so when the time comes to frag those and I could figure out how we're going to do this, I'll ship them out to you. And so I haven't forgot about you, and don't think I told you I'd give them to you and sold them out from underneath you. It's not the case. I did sell those ones off, but I had to get rid of it to break it down. But I do have doubles of everything that was sold. And that's about it. 30 minutes, man. I apologize for the long video. Just want to say thank you everyone for watching. Appreciate it. Hit that comment button. Throw a comment down there. Love it or hate it. Whatever you want to throw. Subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate everyone being here. Apologize for rambling again. And we'll catch you on the next video. There's your update. Still not wet. Still sourcing out equipment, acquiring equipment, and installing stuff into this new controller cabinet. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll catch you on the next video. Stay safe. Keep reefing, drop them videos. We all enjoy them. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.